show you how we go from wool from the lamb to making sweaters, socks, and that kind of stuff. First of all, you've got to wash it and dry it. And I have some here that have been dyed. So I'm going to run this through the picker. And the picker has some really sharp teeth that takes and fluffs the wool out. So here you go. I will show you how this works. You put it in the picker, and it actually takes and fluffs the wool. And I'll do a bunch of this, and then I'll take it over and put it on the drum carder, which I will show you in a couple of minutes. But you can see how it goes from a real tight, matted mess to light and fluffy. Alright, I got enough to take over and work on the drum carder with. This is the drum carder over here, and what it does is, when, you know how you take and use a brush on your hair to take and comb it out and line it all up and make it all nice and pretty? That's what this does. It takes and straightens all the fibers out. So I can take and spin it then. And I will show you in a second here. Once I get the amount I want on my big drum here, because the little drum helps put it on to the big drum, I can take, and there's a spot on here, I can actually take and peel it off, and I'll end up with a vat like this. And this is what I spin from. So I'm going to sit here and show you how I spin some of this. I've already got a bobbin partially full, pretty much full, but I want a little more on it. So I'm going to take, and as you see, I start with a corner and I pull some of it out. That's called drafting. So I'm going to take it, and in order to get this to bind together, sheep's wool has, like, think of it like Velcro. It's how the Velcro works, and that way you can just hook it right onto what I had already going. And there's also, besides a spinning wheel, there's also what's called drop spindles, but I don't have any of those with me today, and I've never really learned how to use them. I've always had a wheel that I've worked with, and there's many different types of wheels, but this is my wheel of choice. And as you can see, as I pull and I pedal, it takes and spins everything, and what happens is the bobbin is spinning, it is actually twisting the wool and making it into a strand of yarn. So, with that being said, once I get 2 bobbins full, what I'll do is I'll take this bobbin and another bobbin, apply it onto itself, and it'll come out as a 2-ply like this is. And this is a 2-ply yarn that we use to make our sweaters, our shawls, our socks, our hats, stuff with. And then over here on the table, if he pans over, You can see some of the stuff I made. There's a couple of handmade things here, hand spun. This one's a hand spun that I just finished up with fair isle work. This is called fair isle work when you add in colors to it. And then this one back here is the very first hand spun I ever did. Well, not really, but it's the very first hand spun sweater I did. And it has a lot of decorations to the back of it. I don't know whether you're going to be able to see it in the video or not. But that's that. And then I got a pair of, this is hand spun, and the rest of it is commercial, but it's wool. So you can buy stock yarn to do like that. Now this is some I've spun up. I haven't washed it and I haven't used it yet, which I need to get done. That's what we do to make yarn to make our clothes.